Hello everyone, I am Jerry Bambi and this is the Morning Call.
And I am Hanan Fejani. A warm welcome to the program.
Now, police in Kampala, Uganda, on Monday used tear gas in dispersing demonstrators protesting the beating of detained lawmakers. It was the second day of protest on Kampala streets, and police and soldiers tried to remove the roadblocks, bonfires and barricades set up on the streets by protesters. Tension has been running high in Uganda since the detention of 5 lawmakers critical of President Yoweri Museveni.
Ugandan police said he had arrested 45 people as protest against the beating of detained lawmakers continued for a second day in the capital, Kampala. Ugandan police fired tear gas to disperse a demonstration on Monday. Demonstrators were setting up bonfires and barricades on Kampala streets, and police and military personnel were trying to move the roadblocks.
Police and sister security agencies will continue to work together to secure everyone and to give space to everyone to go about their businesses uninterrupted. Close to 45 people have been arrested.
But protesters maintain innocence.
We are using order from the above. Who's above? That is the very order they used when they are deforming Bobi Wine. Bobi Wine was deformed beyond recognition.
Political tensions have been running high in Uganda since police arrested scores of people, including 5 opposition lawmakers, on suspicion of taking part in stoning a presidential convoy on August the 13th. Police said calm has returned but warned residents not to engage in riots as they are unlawful.
Bobi Wine was arrested last Tuesday with a dozen people in Arua, 500 kilometers from the capital, where he had come to support the candidate of his party during a by-election. An incident broke out, causing his arrest. According to some sources, opposition activists threw stones at the presidential convoy.
Raymond Mujini is a journalist from Kampala, Uganda. He joins us now. Raymond, good morning and thank you for coming on the program. There have always been protests in Uganda against the government, but what is different this time, Raymond?
The protests that we're seeing both online and offline on the streets are for people who are demanding for the release of Robert Kyagulanyi, who is famously in Uganda known as Bobi Wine. And the pockets where the protests are coming from, which include Cheseka Market, Kamocha, Makinde, these are places where you have mostly middle-income young people who look up to him as a leader, but also who have fans of his music, and also people who support him along his political journey. So the only difference that these protests present from previous ones is that they are involving more of the people that have formerly been apolitical but now turned political because the person that they look at as a leader has taken on the realm of politics.
You talk about the only difference in this particular protest, but also the journalists have been tortured, beaten, arrested, and some say their equipment have been confiscated. What picture does this paint about the broad picture of the freedom of press and expression in Uganda?
There is a very strong argument to be made for the freedom of the press, and there is a really strong statement that needs to be made to at least state security agencies, because all journalists that have been beaten in Arua and today accuse the state agencies of allegedly beating them up. So there really is a question to be asked on the freedoms of the press in light of what's happening right now. But also there is a very good regime of repression happening right now, particularly for the press, on what can be said and what can't be said about the protests that are happening. And in cases like this where much of the primary facts are still shrouded in mystery, it's really hard for the press to stamp their foot on the ground. Much of what happened in Arua, the stoning of the president's car and the operations that happened thereafter are still murky. The details are still murky. They are not yet clear to the press, just as the details of the protest, so the full scale of the protest today and how many people have died, how many people have been injured, those details are still not clear to the press. And they may not get clear if the press is not allowed to do their job.
Does this brutality or what we've witnessed have anything to do with the by-election in Uganda?
For context, these protests are largely within the urban settings, near or in Kampala or near Kampala. And these are places where the incumbent President Yoweri Museveni doesn't enjoy as much support as the opposition enjoys. So that would paint a picture for you on why what's happening is happening the way it's happening. But also, definitely, these protests are a culmination of a lot of the anger that people are building up over time. You very well know that the reason that we are where we are now is because a legislator was gunned down. And after his gunning down, investigations have not yet brought to the fore even one suspect to be charged. So there's that anger that builds up. Then the by-election happened. And of course, every by-election has now been turned into a national election because you have all the big weight politicians descending on a small constituency and trying to convert votes for their candidates.
Well, Raymond, we will keep monitoring the situation there as regards the detention of the lawmakers, the 5 lawmakers. Thank you very much for speaking with us this morning.
Vous regardez le Morning Call surtout.
You're watching the Morning Call. The African Journal is up next.
D'autres grands titres de l'actualité africaine avec le Journal de l'Afrique.